WTF? Why is everything pumping today? Stocks look really happy. That's right. It looks like the bulls are back. These last 3 days have been quite nice, nearly 4%, or maybe even a bit more, right here for the NASDAQ. So, what do we do right now? So, why is everything rallying? Well, the mega caps are getting a snapback. So, what does that mean? Stonks are back. Or are they? Are these stonks going to turn into stinks? Well, this depends on whether or not we get a shot of relief to go for a reversal. Because a relief rally, again, keyword here being relief, a shot of relief, the big picture does not really changed. A relief rally is one type of a bear market rally. They're big, they're violent, they feel really good. But you're like, wait, stocks are higher today. That's right, guys. We did it. We made the lines go up. He's even got a little bit of a tear coming in here. Oh my God, I'm so happy. So WTF, right? What the F? How can this be bearish? Well, let's look a little bit closer because as we alluded to for the last couple of videos now, we are clawing back losses on the year. So, hey, big bounce, beautiful bounce, but is it going to be enough? Please remember this. Whether we go down more or not, every additional percent means you require more to make back your losses. 10%, not so bad. 20% gets worse. 30, 40, 50. Once we get to 50, you have to double up to make your money back. So if you start with $1,000 and you lose 500, your 500 has to become worth twice as much to get your initial capital back, or 100. So understanding all that is really important. And within the first 2 minutes, here is the update for you. We're likely heading to war. There's 5 major signs here. Stock faithfuls are still cutting their targets. So now the S&P is going to prove why we shouldn't lower them more. And remember, this just started. It's the first shock wave. And he's already blinking because auto tariffs are supposed to kick in starting on May 3rd. And now we're like, there's going to be tariffs. There's not going to be tariffs. Man, it's so confusing. Meanwhile, the G20, including China, are currently in Washington. And we might see headlines. We might not. I'll show you a few more here in a few more minutes. But what really matters is that tomorrow we're going into the weekly candle close. So if in doubt, reduce noise and focus on levels. What does the weekly chart say? Bearish until proven otherwise, as of the last candle. I'd be lying if I told you that today we can't say that there's bullish evidence. Why? Man, we got a bullish engulfing weekly candle. How am I going to say that's not bullish? It has the word bullish in it. So yes, from Liberation Day or Liquidation Day, we started with a bearish engulfing candle. And now we have a bullish engulfing. The bottom could be set. I might have been dead wrong about the market not going down further. And what does that mean? It doesn't hurt my feelings. This is one candle. It's not enough for me to not enough for me to say there's a reversal. But if we go to SPY or QQQ, we have a bullish engulfing, and we are over that candle high. It's pretty bullish. It has the word bullish in the candle. Here's the thing I would leave as a caveat. Why? Because YouTubers always want to be right, as people tell me in the comment section. And again, I'm making a bit of a joke for myself. So one candle is nice. It's a really nice candle. It's a bigly beautiful candle. What we learn over time and technical analysis is that if there's more time on the chart or there's more candles, it's more significant. So I'm highlighting an area here which shows a head and shoulders. And it doesn't take very much more for us to invalidate this. If we do something like this, or if we do something like this, or if we do something like this, I don't really want to be overly surprised. So in roughly the first 4 minutes, yes, one candle was nice. We still have to close it. This market, yes, the bulls are in control for the last 3 days. I would call that a relief rally. And right now, Trump is understanding that people are not going to get very much relief. Low-income Americans are going to get hit the hardest. So there could be an understanding by next week with South Korea. But Americans are feeling the pressure right now. So like, you know what? You can see yourself out right over here, right? That's right. You can go over this way. Why? In the first 100 days, Americans actually liked the first Trump presidency better. We can look here. This is from Fox. So this is not fake news, right? This is real news. I just took screenshots from this article here. Now, let me just get out of there because I might get the audio in the background. Based on Trump's first 100 days, are you encouraged about the next 4 years or discouraged about the next 4 years? So it's saying discouraged, right? People don't like him. That's fine. But now less people are encouraged. 38 versus 45. Wow. We look here to his job performance, approve or disapprove. Inflation, only 1 in 3 people approve. In tariffs, 1 in 3. Taxes, That's 4 and 10. The economy, 4 and 10. Foreign policy, 4 and 10. What's he doing the best at? Border security. Overall job performance. That's right. 44%. Mr. President, you are hired. Oh, wait. That's not good. That looks like it's you like an 80-year-old guy trying to get it up. He's like, no, no, no. I got the pills. What do the pills do? They make the lines go up. 55% feel the economy is getting worse for their family. Well, that's down from 64% in December. So, all right, cool. There's one nice little positive there. And this is likely what is getting him to cave. Delaying is not in his benefit. I'm not trying to be overly political. This is from Fox News, right? Fox News polls. Do you think Trump's policies are going to help the economy, hurt the economy, or not make a difference? 54% say it's going to hurt them. Hurt the country, 51%. They're gerbs. That's right. Help or hurt the U.S. economy, 55% say hurt. Hurt U.S. jobs. This one's like roughly indifferent. They're like, I don't care. I don't know. And more expensive. Make products more or less expensive, right? 72% of Americans are pretty smart. That's right. There's always going to be that Venn diagram where people who don't agree. So, anyways, moving forward here, Trump is saying that you should not default China for making bad, beautiful finished planes. That's right, Don. Well, there's a reason for that. The tariffs make it uneconomical. The Boeing CEO told us that on the conference call. Here's the commentary we're hearing from the other side. And it's not because they're my favorite country. If you don't mind, though, I would really appreciate a thumbs up or smashing that thumbs up and subscribing. Thanks so much. I want to see what the other side is saying, because what this really tells us is whether or not we're likely going to get a deal. Here it is in one sentence. Ministry of Commerce. If the U.S. really wants to resolve the problem, it should cancel all the unilateral measures on China. All right. Why? Because does he expect China to say thank you? Right? They're trolling him over there in China. Good thing he's not probably seeing these. Don't just think Trump is crazy. Maybe he's making a fortune secretly through gold and U.S. stocks. That's right. We're short. America crumble, but I am rich. With his kind of credibility, whatever. We'll just move on from those. Waller, not likely to see very big impacts on tariffs before July 1st. This guy is supposed to be the next Fed chair, right? Supposed to be. And we'll see whether or not the big Don agrees on what he says. So, right? Phew. Thank God we just cooled off before the next big rally, right? Remember, you're right here. We just got temporary relief. Is this even going to last? Man, who knows? No one knows if the stuff is going to last. So the only thing that's for sure is that nothing is for sure. When in doubt, we like to zoom out to weekly notes. And again, we have a weekly bullish candle, so I'm not going to argue and say that's bearish. Google right now is a positive reaction. And then into the weekend, here's a really important part. By closing at or near the high of the candle, what do we expect if we're able to hold into Friday close? More continuation. So what can make the charts go actually up more? Hey, what if, again, Trump was focusing on this in the last couple of days. What if over during the funeral on Saturday, other global leaders are there? What? Really? Yes, there could be other leaders there. There could be a photo op. There could be a deal, like we're seeing with South Korea. Right now, we're hitting big pockets of resistance all the way up to 560. So yeah, the progress is great. Not only is this a weekly bullish engulfing candle, we actually have monthly failed breakdowns. So what do our notes say? They tell us exactly this. Bearish until the monthly candle closes. Has to be above 548 for a monthly fail breakdown by April 30th. So, hey, excellent progress by the bulls. I am thrilled. This is a hugely bigly rally. I like it. QQQ, bullish engulfing too. Here's what you should do. If you're still watching and enjoying the show, this is what I highly suggest. Avoid what you're going to regret more. Of course, you're going to be feeling regret today. Oh my God, I did not buy and they went higher. Didn't buy enough and they went higher. Well, what if you didn't sell? And what if you did sell and they went higher? This is where you have to choose what decisions are important. You might have thought, you know what, I'm number one. I don't regret, and it goes lower. Number one, I do sell and it goes lower. If you were number one before today, now you're like, actually, you know what? I am feeling some FOMO. I'm actually feeling quite a bit of FOMO because stocks appear like they're back. Should have bought them at the close. Should have bought them yesterday. Should have bought them 2 days ago. Should have bought them last week. That Justin guy on YouTube didn't know what he was talking about. I knew it all along. So what is that? That's called it's called fear and greed. So decide what you are. And if now you're feeling a lot more like number two, you need to recalibrate. Maybe you're closer to 50-50. Maybe you are number two more than number one. Or maybe you're just showing signs of complacency because phew, right? Thank God we just cooled off. The next big rally or the Trump pump is right around the corner. Here are some signs of complacency. I can't sell now because the second I sell, it's going to go straight up. I can't buy now because the second I buy, it's going to go straight down. Your self-talk is, I should probably do nothing. I'll wait because I'm an investor. And this is where I think her name is Ruth. I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. I begged my advisor to sell. He waited and I lost 20 grand. Do I have any recourse? If I only did it a couple of weeks ago, would have had my money back. What is that? She had panic. SHIT. Everyone's selling out. I got to get out. Can't afford to lose more. Now she's blaming someone. How did this happen? How did the government allow this guy to manage my money? If it would have went back up, I would have said, oh my God, thank God he didn't sell. Smartest guy ever. Because everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Mike Tyson. So avoid what you're going to regret more. Because right now there's an ominous death cross, which usually means we're going to go for a leg lower before we go higher. And here's one more thing. I'll try to do more charts in the opening stream tomorrow. I'm just trying to get back to more manageable length in videos. So the second that Bitcoin stopped going down, it started going back up. Oh my God, really? After it broke the downtrend, it went up? Yes, but look, low, lower, lowest. It has multiple lows here. So if we zoom out, we see that we have a failed breakdown and then expansion signals. Or in the monthly, we actually have a double failed breakdown. Sorry if there's noise in the background. But now going back here to SPY, what did we note? We just stopped going down. That's the red line that I'm putting out here. There's just lots of noise on it right now. So can we keep going higher? Sure. But like that has to be the low then. And we have to leave this gap then. Well, if we leave the gap next week and we go back and retrace, we're going to be back below the downtrend. We could go all the way back down to here to what? To retest the low and form a double bottom. The chart right now looks pretty good. And yes, it might look complicated when there's lots of stuff on it. But let's make it simple. Here's a simple chart. It's a W. What's a W? It's a win for the bulls. But this is not a perfect W. Perfect W usually comes down, and then we go higher. It doesn't have to be perfect, though. Nothing in life is perfect sometimes. The W's do work out pretty consistently, though. With the dominant chart being a head and shoulders, this bullish engulfing, like I said, nice one candle. The dominant time frame, or all of these candles, is roughly 50, roughly a year, probably a bit more. That is the dominant one I'm looking at. So we could go for a leg lower just like Bitcoin. And Trump's biggest effects, they might not have hit yet. Why the real tariff pain hasn't even begun. Chris Waller just told you. It's not even July 1st yet. These things are not even in effect. And Japan is going to try to resist Trump, right? They're going to try to resist the sexy, young, beautiful man, right? Why? They don't want to get caught in the crossfire. Alphabet's going to set the tone. And right now it's up. And then finally here, Trump caved. That's what they're saying. Again, this is not my words. That's the characterization. And then over here, again, a big backer of Trump, right? A billionaire, guy that moved to Florida. What happened here? Trump's trade wars devolved into a nonsensical place. Okay. And they're getting into fighting matches, right? No, you're fired. No, you're fired. You know what? Let's ask Trumpy. Hey, Trumpy, who's fired? All right, Musk, get fired. This is not the WWE in the West Wing. And they're like, yeah, it's not the West Wing, right? U.S. envoy slams U.S. bid to bolster global support. All right. And then finally, they're looking at this as an opportunity to take the panda and cool off the South China Sea, as long as foreign nations are not involved. So that's it. I will see you on the opening stream tomorrow. If you want to find out more, our end of the world sale does end in a few more days. But if in doubt, zoom out. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much.